Hi, it's Michael from Blue Gem Tarot. Here I am back in business with another pick a card read. This one is going to be called What Are People Conspiring About You? And this is both good and bad things, or neutral things for some of you. It really depends on what I'm going to channel, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting one nonetheless, I believe. We have three categories or three piles with three associated crystals. First one is linked to Tiger's Eye, second is linked to Pyrite, and third is linked to Citrine. Pick your pile, choose what resonates for you. If it resonates in the majority of the information that I provide, it means it's your pile, so you can continue on watching. Pick what resonates, leave the rest. My readings are non-gender specific, or not gender specific, I guess. I don't know which one is right. So yeah, I think I covered everything. To all the people who support my channel, comment below, like the videos, donate as well. A huge thanks. Um, I know this is quite the bold, like a very bold statement, but sometimes I feel like when I'm really stressed out, your comments are what makes me want to keep going, like with the channel. Um, it has really became something more of a purpose when I saw that people like found some solace and like belonging in the reads, and especially the parts where people expressed like how deeply my readings touched their heart, their soul. So that's something I cannot overlook. That's something really important for me, and especially when I see that you reciprocate that energy with your like support and love, that's a lot. That's a lot to take in. Sometimes I wonder like if people were to be more open to the world and expressive, and I'm only sharing one part of my talent, which is doing tarot reads. I wonder how many more, like in general, recognition and gratitude we were to receive if we were just to be ourselves and genuinely, like, non-restrictedly presented ourselves in this world. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I receive comments such as like, your voice is nice, your message is incredible, or the tablecloth, or something really random that just like you would never expect it. Like you just placed it there, like you placed it because you liked it, or someone really appreciating the title of the read, and you just like randomly, just because it was something you wanted to create, like something like this. And it's really internalizing the compliment in the best of the ways, because it's something that you do naturally. So that's the whole message in general in all the reads. Do whatever you feel is right for you, do whatever you like, and the unexpected surprise you're going to receive at the end of the day, it's one stranger complimenting on you being yourself and being in your own like lane zone and doing your best by simply being yourself. That's the best of the compliments I could have ever received, because I do it effortlessly, and it's something that really makes me feel imbued with a sense of purpose. Being myself in this world and for this world. Yeah, let's begin with pile number one, Tiger's Eye. Okay, pile number one, we have Tiger's Eye. I wanted to say something about this pile is really expressive but very introverted, or it's as if before, like, I want to go to the conspiracies and stuff in your regard about you. It's like there is a part of, like, a very great, expansive part of pile number one, which is very authentic, also very expressive, and very like yourself. And there comes a message of someone or a community or like a company trying to bend your will trying to, like, I don't want to say manipulate, it's more so like pacify or quietly, politely subdue you somehow. Because with the representation of this Eight of Cups, which is going to be the first card, which is going to be the most important one for this read, it talks about side of you, or one of your qualities of being. It could be free spirited, generous with the Six of Cups. With the Six of Wands, it's also like you are universally recognized by your community as someone who's like very noble or highly regarded, highly respected. And we have like this other party who's trying to bend you, like who's trying to bend your will in accordance with some sort of doctrine, in accordance with some sort of like belief system or rules. It could be a work situation, by the way, because I see in here like a priest holding like a book which shines, and this person like saying no thank you. It really reminds me of a situation where you would say, I'm much better off living by myself, by my own judgment, by my own rules. Or it could be that the conspiracies about pile number one are revolving around you being distanced from yourself, from your identity, and most importantly, from your intuition. Now, hear me out. It feels to me like pile number one is very connected to a spiritual aspect of themselves. I feel like this pile is regarded as well someone who's very generous, but also exuding a quality of abundance that's coming from within, or it's coming from a sense of beingness or expression into this world. I feel like with the Six of Pentacles, you thrive, and when you do, you have all these people around you being so grateful for your participation in their life. Also, I feel like you are not what you seem. The conspiracies in general, coming from this other party, is like a very universal, a very not ritually. It could be also ritualistic somehow, but it's like rules from a company. It's like rules from a belief system or religion, and they say like we are right, you are wrong, or they somehow have a quality of entitlement to themselves where they feel empowered to actually impose authority over you. And I feel like you are being seen by this company or by these people as like a very beautiful wild flower. And with the chiromancer, it's like the wild horse for some reason. It's like I'm not gonna be tamed. I feel like, your boundaries are very, very distinct with the tower, and when they try to get closer with the Eight of Cups in here, it's like immediately they get thrown off. Okay? With the tower, I would expect, or I would feel like the whole surroundings, and because of this spiritual connection or nature of sorts that's like revolving around your aura, there are very funny key situations that are guarding you or that are separating you from this negative influence. Not gonna lie, pile number one, this literally feels like indoctrination. This literally feels like how you should live or how you should express and be in this world, or the proper ways of being, you know? With the chiromancer, however, and the hermit, you are like, well, you're too wise for this, okay? You know things before they even start emerging. Like, you know a seed has sprouted before you saw it. Like, that's the kind of perception pile number one has. With a high priestess, you can't fool me. It's like that kind of energy. Also, this party or these people, it could be also an individual person, they realize the quality of independence that you got or who you are. You know who you are. With the tower, however, they are still desperately or actually methodically trying to question your identity. Also, this pile, don't be surprised if right now you're undergoing a lesson of things trying to challenge your identity or trying to challenge who you are, trying to challenge your belief systems or your belief in yourself. I feel like also this pile could go into bargaining, or this party or these people could go into bargaining with you and somehow trying to seductively provide or show you with an offer, and you can see through it. And why I say you see through it, because I see manipulation from that party coming through, saying like you are going to receive really good things if you're going to be cooperative, but cooperative doesn't mean cooperative in your favor. Cooperative means obedience. And this wildflower, pile number one, is not going to play their tune, if not at all, at least for a very, 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 very short time. I feel like this pile is also rooted in a sense of spiritual self or spiritual value set that is guarding them from completely merging in or blending in to the world. Because we have in here like some very powerful cards, all of which are guarded and protected by the tower. I feel like you are experienced in the idea of you've been through stuff, you saw how things shouldn't be, you saw how things perhaps like the foundation, like how the foundation should be, on what quality, or how what's the quality of the foundation I place in my life, and you realize that it should be spiritual in nature, okay? And otherwise it's just not gonna work, okay? um I feel like that realization made you understand that there are no more powerful or important things than who you are, your value set, your morality, your integrity, and your peace with yourself. And these people are trying to somehow try to extort your peace in exchange for something which they think is greater than this peace. It could be money, it could be whatever. But this pile is like, no thanks. I feel like I know too well where this is headed, okay? By the way, you've got like a lot of support. I want to say, with the Six of Pentacles, with the Six of Wands, you are seen as universally someone who's really good at discernment, at seeing the things from a greater perspective and sometimes even not in your favor, so that you can be like prepared. Like, empathy is about this pile. Support to the community, to the people that you love, is also about this pile. Um, somehow, like with the Page of Wands, is like always a student in life, always a student where you are not afraid to learn something new from a person who's maybe younger than you, from a situation that perhaps people would somehow seemingly say, you know, you're too old for this, or maybe like in a, like a very ugly way, of course, but people like you are a learner, you are curious, and you are eager to help. There are no conspiracies about pile number one which would be capable of bending your will. If at all, if not, at least this is going to be very short lived. I want to say this is also the example of someone literally trying to dim your light and getting burned as a result of it. I feel like this is also, interestingly enough, a tipping point for pile number one, where if you're going to settle for something which is less than you, less than who you truly are, and your community, like your community knows who you are, like I want to say, regardless, these are people who you helped. These are people you don't expect anything from. These are the people you showed support to them in the lowest or in the time of their need. And with the insects in here from the Six of Pentacles, it's like these people are always on the lookout for small things, like from small to bigger things that they can contribute and show how much they care and show how much they appreciate you, your presence into their life, and you don't expect anything from them. I feel like also this pile is like a bridge between people, because in here we have this lady presenting a fly to the insect family in here. So this is like, this is powerful stuff. And funnily enough or not, we have like the most spiritual, transformative, strangely like hyper spiritual piles. And this pile, you don't have to identify with being spiritual. If you don't, it could be literally that you live your life in a very easy flowing way, or you do that which is in alignment with your values, with your directions, and with your like intuition or gut feeling. Okay, but it's funny because we have the Judgment card, we have the High Priestess, my favorite card, the Hermit card, and the Chiromancer. Okay, so also all backed up and neatly wrapped in like a ribbon by the Tower card. The Tower card is a very destructive energy, but it's a very destructive energy when you place importance on the wrong things. And I feel like this pile, if you were to be a little less experienced, I feel like the vast majority of people would be really tempted to accept the offer that is being presented to them, like the bargain, or easily seduced or trapped into something, into obedience, into blind obedience, into false beliefs. But this pile is like, and this is not false beliefs you with yourself. This is a very specific group, okay? And I feel like it's malicious intent. Malicious intent in the sense of they don't care about who you are. They don't care what you're doing. They care for what they're going to get out of you. And with your restraint, I feel like there are going to be some sort of benefits that are going to be like playing really well with their whole scheme. So it's like taming you is a part of their agenda, taming you is a part of their grand plan. If you don't know who these are, it could literally be programs from society, it could be like your haters in here. But with the good conspiracies, I want to say you have some really like you have some really good people on your side. I feel like the community is like more than ready to assist you. All that you are left to do is just to call them, okay? But in general, with the Six of Pentacles and the Six of Wands, you feel like you're more abundant than the most majority of people. And with the Nine of Cups, it's like you have enough or more than enough already. And they feel like, they would like to help you, but they don't know how, because it feels like you have everything checked, you know? Something also about conspiracies in here is coming through as you are being too free. Like this person, like pile number one, they are being too free spirited, they are being too liberated somehow. They have to be kept in check. Something coming through like this. Also, people want, like from the bad side, these are the people who would try to provoke you into a reaction, or specifically would try to target and specifically trigger you so that you are low in your mood, vibration, whatever, and you are really like susceptible to messages or to like orders or to obedience. I want to say, when you are grounded in your own sense of self and your own sense of I know what I am, who I am, and when your emotions are low, meaning that you feel them, you accept them, you love them, and you are like in this grounded place, you become a really intimidating figure for a lot of people because they feel like there are really little to no programs that they can use against you and in their favor. I feel like these are the people who are walking on this earth, pile number one, who have this inner sense of love and kindness to themselves, where they don't expect, like, of course they would expect it to be given to them, but they are free in giving it, and they feel the freedom of generously offering that love. Okay, and it's coming off from a very infinite perspective, as if, there is no tax on your love, there is no limit, there is no, yeah, there is no discount on your love. Okay, it's literally what's coming through, like with the Page of Pentacles. It's like having this free spirited optimism, faith, that things will turn for the best in my favor, and not always like in my favor, but in my favor, in the favor of others, and by virtue, by them being happy, I will be happy even more. Is that kind of my favor? So this pile could also be very caring in the sense where you are not indifferent when someone is suffering, like you're not indifferent to someone else's pain or suffering, where it feels to me like you're not going to hesitate and lend some sort of support or help when you can and when you feel like it's necessary. But I feel like this pile is like, give me a moment, like give me an opportunity and I will transform it. Like when you are like in this very high vibrational state where, you know, you are at peace, or you are like at peace with yourself, you really radiate this whole peace into the world, and people are, it scares people at first. It comes off as really intimidating because there are like no hooks in your aura that could be that could be potentially used against you. And that's really like impressive. People kind of get intimidated, but when they get to know you better, when they become more like open and warm towards you, when things are a little less like icy and cold and silent, they really get that you are like not only a very kind and loving person at your like a core, but also a very enthusiastic and passionate person about life in general. And you're not going to be that person also who's like, I'm older than you, I have more experience, or I have this skill and I'm superior, therefore like you should bow to me. No, this style is like lovingly asking and providing support when it's necessary, and it's not about humbling yourself. Like, believe me when I say you receive respect and love by simply the fact that you are so kind. Okay. um I feel like also this pile, it's, I don't know if you realize this or not, but this is also tough battles pile. I did some, I don't want to say bad things, but I would expect like not mistakes, but when like you go with a GPS thing and when you turn in the wrong way, and you have to go in a roundabout way to reach your goal, and you realize like you kind of missed the turn, but it's all right because you have this system that would show you your way out, like no matter what's the wrong turn. So it's like this, pile number one had to go through experiences that would that would help them like point out the truth in a more obvious way. And I feel like you've had like rough battles or rough situations where you were like kind of pushed into the truth. I feel like also you could, for example, place your trust, your faith, or your foundations, as I said with the Tower card, into something that would be fleeting or false, and you would feel the consequences of that later on. And right now, with the Eight of Cups, you're like, no, the history will not repeat itself over because I'm more than I'm more than equipped with enough experience to actually prevent that, you know. it's really fascinating, to be honest. You should be looking at yourself from the perspective of the people that you love, because you would discover, like, because of this hermit card, you would discover aspects of yourself and dimensions to yourself that you wouldn't expect are yours, and you don't know how grateful perhaps you should be feeling for them. Okay. um I also seen here a probability of conspiracies where people would try to provoke you, but because they wanna look out for answers or they wanna ask you for something. I would expect this file as well to, in this context, be asked a lot of questions or what they think about life, philosophical questions as well, and it's like people would want to specifically ask you to imagine difficult life situations so that they can better understand how you would react so that they can learn from it. Okay, because we do have in here two cards which are very wisdom like oriented, which are the hermit and the high priestess. This is more intuition based wisdom, so people are very eager to learn from your like experience. And yeah, it's like also refinery. I feel like this is an overarching message for all the subscribers from my channel, but it's like you are always perfecting yourself in the good way. When I say perfecting, means discovering who you truly are or shedding the layers of perceptions or projections which were not yours from the start. So it's more so not about like changing who you are, it's more about healing and discovering who you are. And I feel like with this Eight of Cups, like coming back um from this message, but of course it's like very foolish attempts to bend your will, to be honest. I feel like the degree of confidence that people have in general, or this group I was talking about, mm, that degree of confidence either comes from a very strong, dangerously strong sense of power, or a very ignorant, foolish confidence. And I feel like more so it's about foolishness in here. I feel like the general basis of assumptions that they get with this whole I'm gonna dictate the rules in this game and impose them on pile number one comes from this either expectation that everyone did it, so why should you be the exception? But definitely something won't budge. Okay, the tower is like, trust me when I say, okay, you are given and you are permitted enough circumstances, situations, or people, just enough for you to basically extract something that's valuable from them. There is no malicious intent that can touch pile number one, because not only that, but the net and the actual social support or connection, like aura connection, whatever that means for you, it's way too powerful. Okay, it's way too powerful for it to simply be bounced back or bounced off by something as insignificant as that. Okay, whatever it means for you. But it's like you could shed this influence like you did with the rest of the influences, like in a split second. And it all like talks about your milestones, your evolution, your changes, your inner transformations. And it's like another one, like another attempt to dim my light, which is going to fail miserably. Also, I feel like the people who are going to consciously, intently mess with you, they're going to be headed into some very bitter embarrassment or humiliation, because there is way too much good reputation with this pile. Not gonna lie, this could also be, by the way, this could also be secret reputation of yours. This is not going to be like this billboard, or how do you even call it? This is not like your reputation is painted on ads or designed on ads, and you're like, pile number one is a good person. No, this is more so universally or secretly known that you are a good person. If people don't talk about you, they know, or they would say like pile number one is trustworthy. They are not going to discuss it openly, but with the High Priestess and the Hermit card, it's like the secret people you can rely on, you know? The secret group or something like this, you know, from the shadows, because we have in here some very distinctive knight cards. With this page in here, it's a knight card, like also a person shining in the night, okay? A lot of like stars or moons surrounded, like a lot of eyes on you are, really. Eight of Cups is also a night card, like in this darkness, a person shows themselves with a very seductive offer, like pick me up type of offer, you know. Also, it's fascinating. It's actually like amusing to me how stubbornness, like stubbornness and insisting on some terms, conditions, whatever, and seemingly presenting you with like a bargain where sacrifice yourself, sacrifice your needs, sacrifice your values in exchange for something that is going to be so worthwhile. This is so laughable. This is so laughable because with the overall abundance in this card of water, it's like you know the truth of the situation and you know it so well. It's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. It's also ridiculous because, and funny because this is the tiger's eye. I remember listening to the first spiritual meaning to this stone and why people carry it, and it's because it's a crystal which helps you prevent or helps you see through situations before they even manifest themselves through. This pile is like, I'm done abandoning myself. I'm done leaving myself behind in a promise, for a promise that is very unclear, for a promise that says something and requires me to give up on myself. I'm done with that. And not only I have this sacred promise or contract with myself, which I will never and I cannot breach, but I have this whole responsibility and I carry on that example on other people. You know what I'm talking about. And not only this sacred contract you have with yourself, listening to who I am, to what I believe in, but you set an example. And these two things, they are interconnected, linked. Nothing in this world is going to destroy that connection. No bargain, no scheme or influence from the exterior is going to make you go mad like chasing that. It could be literally a relationship that would promise stuff, or it could be like a person trying to offer you something, okay? But yeah, it's futile because even if you were to accept it with a tower, things would quickly turn um in a bad turn, but not because you would like deserve it, but because it would be shown to you in a very apparent way what is not constructive. Like your whole being would reject it. That's the feeling with the tower, even if nothing in exterior world would happen. Very much like connected to themselves, pile number one. I feel like this is like an accomplishment or a very good virtue or a very honorable virtue to have in your arsenal, to be honest. Okay, so that was all, pile number one. I hope you enjoyed the reading. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I really hope to see you in the future readings. Make sure to comment below that you're pile number one so that I don't feel like a crazy person talking about I don't know what. Just kidding. I love channeling what I saw in here today. And if anything, this resonates with you, then 100, 1000, 1,000,000% you should be proud of yourself because the mark you leave on people is felt. Not only is felt, but is highly valued and appreciated more than money or gems or gold or whatever. So yeah, take care. Stay safe. See you in the future reads. Hello, pile number 2. Those of you who chose the Pyrite crystal. What are people conspiring against you, for you, and in general, what are people conspiring about you? The first card that I decided to read is going to be the Weaver, which is in reverse. It says in here transition and rediscovery. I feel like people are speculating, gossiping, and conspiring about or around the fact that you are changing course with this card. And there is also a reminiscing message of pile number 2 is slowly taking off the labels, okay? It's as if, this pile has been a subject to a lot of discussion, hate, or gossip. Again, like a lot of complaint. That's also something that's coming to mind. Also, a lot of anger for some reason. Yeah. It's also a feeling as if you were the observer in the whole thing, alright? And you didn't react because we have the Two of Swords, and I am willing to bet that with the Three of Swords, you felt really hurt by all of it, but you were like in this, it's not worth fighting, it's not worth reacting or making a scandal out of it. There is a feeling as if people are conspiring around the fact that you are not going to listen to them, or you're not going to be provoked, or you're going to sing your own tune. That's pretty much interesting, because with the Nine of Swords in here, I felt as if there could have been negativity or negative comments, or both, directed consciously at you, and somehow they left a mark, but it was really temporary in nature. It's like a lecture. It's like people moralizing or really trying to impose some sort of authority or like domination over you. Seemingly with the Weaver, it's like over time you slowly are, or you got back to yourself, to who you were. It's like, that moment when a child is being scolded and they're, for example, in a timeout, and when the parent is out, the child is happy and doing the same thing all over again. This is not like, this is the first thing that came to mind, but literally in here, it's an unfair judgment and criticism directed at you pointlessly, because like it's as if people are bored, okay? Or it's as if they try to dim your presence. They are conspiring in here specifically against you because there is something very intimidating or very promising about you that seemingly like gets in the way, or as if you were to enter the room, you would capture a lot of attention and you would spark a lot of hope and potential for the future in whatever way. Take this as it resonates. But people are a little bit feeling envious or jealous, and this is all like converting itself out into negativity or criticism directed at you. And I would expect this pile to feel a little bit targeted, but constantly purifying themselves. Because we have in here the Moon in reverse and the Knight of Wands, which shows a person like holding a wand and burning some sort of like tentacles, whatever. Definitely you got some people watching. You've got some people like trying to dim you somehow, for some reason. What I specifically find interesting about this pile is the fact that with the Two of Swords, no matter how much pressure is being applied to you or to the situation with your involvement, it's as if you never react or you never cross the boundary with yourself. It's as if you could temporarily survive this whole thing, but like also you could obey temporarily, but when they're out, you are back into your freedom. It's very, very annoying and intimidating, where it's as if people expect that by by design, if they were to intimidate you, are going to be like that scared person who's always going to think that it's the proper way to basically be afraid of them all over and always. And in your case, it's as if a new fresh day starts and you are rejuvenated. You're back in business, you know? It's like that kind of feeling, like you restart, you know? And you restart in a quality of better self, more closely and intently listening to myself. Okay? Unfortunately, there is a message in here with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, which specifically says that you do have some people really conspiring not so quite in your favor. And the good news, however, in this is that there is too much hope, there is too much promise about you, that it's just too much for them, okay? Take it how it resonates for you, but you showed something, either it is a work situation, relationships, or life in general, or people, those who you are surrounded by. You showed something that said, now this person is going to walk into the light, into this, like onto the stage and shine and be distinctive, you know? It's like this person is bound to have like real good friendships or real good people around them. They're bound to have success, whatever it is that you're genuinely desiring for yourself and for your loved ones, or that you know that you possess. In this case, it's as if you can't help but shine it through. You know, it's literally that moment where the, let's say, power in someone translates in their demeanor, and you quite cannot hide it, and it's really annoying. Okay, so there is some sort of virtue or power, whatever, that with the King of Wands, you know, you have it. Somehow there is a toning down, meaning that perhaps you don't want to be boastful about it, you don't want to like basically take over the whole broadcast of attention. But when you walk into the room, it becomes really obvious, to the point where you trigger people into their smaller versions of themselves, where they try to compete for attention and resource. Not gonna lie, this is also a pile which came with an information of you could have crushes or exes or people who are romantically interested in you, but they saw what you're capable of and thought to themselves like, we are out of the league. And immediately that mixed itself up with a lot of envy, a lot of wanting to be like you but on top of the game. Okay, also there is a conspiracy with this pile around the fact that they are not complying, they are not obeying, they are not listening. Also, there seems to be like a desire for a change of tactic, where people, if they were aggressive, they would try to be more calm and try to actually convince you, but in a forceful slash diplomatic way. And if the opposite is the case, where people try to be more subtle or indirect, it's going to be, they're going to try and see if you're going to be intimidated. So, but like I feel like you are in a standstill where you keep on singing your own song. Both the strength and the weavers shows like strings, and I feel like, you know, these are the strings of a guitar that you play, and you like get all the unnecessary notes, like the energy of these people, the annoyances, you get these all sorted out, and you're like, you know what? It's my own life and my own song, and I got the author rights and not you. Okay. Also, there is an interesting tone to your reading where you are shedding skin. People are also conspiring around their place in your life because it seems like you are transforming, or the quality of you or your being is being transformed, and people are wondering how they should behave around you, with you, and in general. Okay. Also, they are gossiping and saying and conspiring around the fact that, you know, you are not bending your behavior, like you're not changing for the sake of them, and they've tried kind of everything. I don't know if now listen, if you believe that, like, let's take it from this point. If you feel like you are feeling like struggling in this, like if you're struggling in this situation and you feel like these people are more powerful than you, whatever, no, it's like these people are really good at not showing it, but they are quite lost with the Nine of Swords, with the Ten of Cups. It's as if a feeling, like it's as if they feel like they've tried everything and they are running out of strategies, and seemingly the best or the last resort type of option would be to just call it friends, be close with you, and keep an open eye, keep a close eye actually on you. There is definitely intrusion in here. There is definitely dictating rules, expectations, how you should and shouldn't behave. And there is also response kind of energy coming from you, always like with a new day, with it, like it's coming in a renewed sense, like as if today, like you were told to behave in one way, tomorrow it's like, why do we get this feeling like we have to tell them how they should behave again? Or there is hesitation, like with the next day, with each passing day, there is more and more hesitation to actually tell you what to do. Okay. There is also conspiracy and speculation around the idea of what it is that you're going to do next. With the moon card in here in reverse, it's like unpredictability and what are they up to now. And it's like the pile number 2 is like always with a new thing on their mind, always with a new thing implemented in their like day-to-day plan. There is uncertainty and chaos in their mind relative to the idea of we don't know what's next with them, and we cannot like predict and therefore interfere with like their behavior if we don't know what's their next move. Okay. Also, there is pacifying in here, whatever case this may be, but I feel like you've got some people like thinking that maybe if we are to be really polite and complacent somehow, as if like in a false way, or if we were to at least try to act like we are friendly, then perhaps they're going to just basically be more receptive and we're gonna hook them on that. And I feel like this is quite futile, to be honest, because yeah, it feels like this pile, it's the case where you can make mistakes, but you come you come in a more renewed way the next day, and it's pretty chaotic for these people because there is no baseline of stability in the ways in which they can pull the strings on you. There is like a sense of, in programming, or like when you restart a computer, like I know this from my own experience, when a computer is really like bad with viruses, whatever, the only like savior option is to basically restart it from like the core settings where you delete everything. And this file feels like you are resetting once a day, twice a day, once in 2 days, once in a week, and people are looking at you and like wondering, now what was that? Like why are they changed? Like there could be the case that this is like it could be the case that this is spiritually linked, or you are undergoing some sort of emotional or spiritual transformation, but this could also be awareness work where you become more and more aware of who you are, or you are interested in that. Or if not that, it could literally talk about evolution of the self. You knowing who you are, you discovering who you are, and healing yourself. Healing the versions of yourself which felt trapped or stuck in the past. But with this King of Wands, it's like, what's the next thing that they're going to throw, like, as an act? Where it literally doesn't feel to me like an act, to be honest, because the ways in which you present yourself gracefully to the world, they're actually very authentic and centered around just your genuine self-expression. But people feel so thrown out of balance with that, they feel as if you want to capture attention, where actually it would feel like this pile is just doing that by design without even trying to desperately move a finger. It's like it's basically there in your blueprint to attract attention. And I want to say, for these people, it's quite annoying. Yeah. There are a lot of question marks and a lot of speculations with what you are occupying your time with when they are not around, like what you are doing when you're basically not surrounded by these people. Also, it's a feeling as if you've got multiple streams of income, or like you should have something going for you. That's for certain. Like this pile, like you you could be a little more secretive, let's say, but not on purpose, where you just feel like, you don't have to share a lot of information to the world, to the people, or especially those with whom you feel like you cannot trust. But you know the usual stuff, like you cannot open up to your coworkers or something like this. But there is a lot of doubt and like people desperately trying to find out what it is that you're doing in your free time. What are your hobbies, what you are investing in, what are you working on, and what are you doing? Like they want to know everything. There is, of course, with the devil and this information, a feeling of you've got some sort of hidden advantage, or people could at times feel like you are casting spells, or you're doing something which is quite unknown to them, and it feels quite alien to describe it. But there there is no way, okay? Like it's impossible that you're that kind of lucky. So it's like it's impossible you're that kind of magnetic, or it's impossible that you're that kind of like at the right place in the right moment at the right time, surrounded by the best. There has to be like a catch, okay? It's like with the devil, there is a lot of there are a lot of inquisitive people whom you are gatekeeping for a very good reason, okay? And there is also a scared feeling of, oh god, they know what we are up to. I wanna say it's funny because we have the Seven of Swords. If you were to look at this picture, you would see a sleeping man, like facing a pistol, and in the back of like the room there is like a person trying to sneak in, and the Seven of Swords is a very sneaky, unfair, and cheaters like card. I love that, of course we don't know whether this person who's sleeping on this bed is actually keeping an eye on the pistol, but I feel like you just play innocent. And it's a very good act. You play innocent. No, it's actually not innocent. You play clueless in this case. Or it could be that you specifically downplay your colors or downtone yourself because you want to expose everything that's out there. You want to behave as neutral as possible, and not in vain I saw the King of Wands in reverse, like toning down your charisma. Because you want to see what are people made of. This is also a case of quiet and silent success. You feel like someone who's not very boastful but very confident at the same time, and very, very precise and consistent with their success and in general life story, biography, whatever. It's like you keep the records, you keep them to yourself. Not only that, you have 3 backups. Not in vain, again, I saw the Weaver card. It's like weaved in all of this chaos and fiery like strings of deceit, let's say in your case. There is a golden thread that you are neatly sneaking by and sneaking through, waiting for the right moment to basically snap the whole line of the strings which are not yours, leaving you with one singular, which is yours, which is this one, which is golden. And I feel like you are so aware. I feel like you're so aware, okay? You're too aware, okay? I would expect you to be like, I got 2 eyes, one on my personal business and the second on personal interrelationship type of BS that I see on the daily basis. Also, it's waiting on the right moment. People are conspiring about the fact that you are just waiting for the right moment to basically throw them all off balance. Um, Not gonna lie, you have a lot of people who think that they are on top of the game. Not gonna lie, also, people feel like they've got an advantage or they got a very good like ace in the hole with the fact that you are not as active. I feel like this file is just waiting for the right moment to basically snap or click uh, at the right time again, and luckily enough in the right moment to basically um, take off. And with the taking off, it's not gonna matter who thought and what they thought about you and where in the game they perceive themselves to be. Because when you're going to take off, everything will be as clear as day. I feel like this file doesn't care a lot about what are people gonna say. It's like there is a message. Their world is too little for the whole yapping, you know? You pity them. That's I don't know, this feels quite like interesting as a blend. But yeah, not me like tasting the whole energy thing and like describing it like a dish. Yeah, whatever. But quiet power, quiet success, waiting for the right moment to basically not even prove to myself, because you don't prove yourself to yourself. It's like more you know yourself, you know who you are, okay? And you don't have to prove anything. You could be caught in life nets or relationship nets where you feel like people are pushing you into basically, now come on, like prove yourself, show what you've got. People trying to impress you or others and making a whole act around the fact, directly, indirectly, with idea how much money they got, how what a loving person they got near them, or how successful they are, or how far in life they are. And it's quite disgusting, to be honest, because you're too busy. You're too busy on like focusing on yourself and focusing on, it's not even pursuit. It's, you know, it's very funny because it's like a feeling of contentment which you get when you taste a very flavorful dish. I don't know why food comes to mind, but I guess it should be. Um, when you take a really, really good dish, you know that you have to savor it. And this pile is about savoring their life. It's the whole intricate nature of the dish that makes you prolong your whole like blossoming process. And you feel like there is no rush. There is no rush in peace. There is no rush in this whole process of savoring the whole thing, you know? And you are caught in a game of people who try to rush the process, and it's like everyone finished their dish and they're with empty plates and they rushed into it and now they feel kind of regretful about it, but you're there like slowly but steadily enjoying your life. Literally, that's what it felt to me. And I also get a feeling that in the in hindsight, people are going to realize what kind of person you were. They're going to realize not they're going to realize it not by the words, not by whatever, but they're going to realize it by the way in which you sat there silently watching them make a fool out of themselves. Like people missing the mark. I don't care if this is romantic or not, but time passes, time will pass, time will go, and they are going to look back and realize that it's kind of over. And we didn't see a lot of truths and details to pile number two, which were very, very apparent, but we were blind, unfortunately. Or not. I don't know. It really depends. There is also a lingering question or idea. It cannot be all, or there has to be more. Pile number two is hiding a lot. Pile number two is hiding hidden goodies or hidden talent, success. Like, no way. No way. Like, they think you're hiding a relationship, they think you're hiding money, they think that, um, you're hiding something. And it's definitely something very, very valuable or is being perceived as valuable. It's as if, there is a feeling of this person is important, they should have some sort of like relative who's very influential, or they have like secret power, but they are like watching and they are like, there is hesitation. Right? So it's like, we don't quite know who pile number two is, but there is also like, it's kind of questionable because why are people then trying to basically test your nerves? It seems like people can't help but do it, but at the end of the day, it's like the lingering question, are they more than they actually show? Because if they are, then what are the consequences? Should we behave like this, keep on doing this, or perhaps it wasn't such a good idea to treat them poorly? I'm sorry, like this is like, no, it's unbelievable. I would, to be honest, I would cut these people out. Yeah, not me being a Scorpio, but yeah. Um, I feel like this is completely non-important. What are people conspiring? Because there is good conspiracy about you, which is going to be generating itself in the long run. But it's as if your name is going to be mentioned like a legend, because I feel like there are very good things ahead of you which you knew were possible and which you knew were going to happen, but you were just waiting for them and not rushing the whole process. Um, it's the feeling where you know what's yours and you don't run desperately for it. Okay? So, no matter what's the temporary circumstance or setback or difficulty, obstacle, negativity you are encountering with these people or this group of people, this is all. My god, this is like so funny. This is not defining like who you are. This could never be farther from the truth. I get this intuitive hit, like it's laughable. It's laughable how temporary this is. It's so laughable. It's amusing. It's ridiculous, actually. It's ridiculous and amusing how this period of stagnancy or difficulty or stress, it's actually not going to define you. This is the feeling you get when you watch a very emotional movie, you cry about it, you feel the relief, and when it's over, you realize that it was just like an hour of a movie which was very emotional, and you're back again in life. And it never defined you. Like this movie did not define you, just went through it. It was just an experience. And my god, pile number two, it's like your life is going to be like with these obstacles, it's like going to be like this. I went through it, I crossed a bridge. Bridges could be a symbol or something of a synchronicity as well. Doesn't have to be. But it's hilarious. It's hilarious because you could also sometimes get dramatic about it and perhaps like really feel down, but it's short lived, trust me. Like it's short lived, and you're going to look back at it and laugh. You're going to look back at it and laugh with tears, thinking that how well everything turned out or how well everything clicked, and this was all like a nightmare dream, and these people are blocked. Like the people I was talking about, they are going to be blocked in this whole dream nightmare for much longer, for much longer than you, and you're going to look back and realize like that was like a awful awful experience, but it was worth it because it showed me who I was not. Okay, I could ramble for about this forever, but let's constrain ourselves and give us some moments for pile number three as well. Thanks for watching. Make sure to comment below that you're pile number two most interested to find out who is this person, like who's trying so desperately to like attach stickers and labels on you and with such poor taste. Like at least try to make it like at least like if you tell a lie, just make it refined, make it the work of art. Don't be so blunt about it. Like if people try to hate on us, like at least be creative about it. Just try to impress me, you know? I'm bored, okay? So yeah, thanks for watching, take care of yourself, don't listen to BS, because I know you see it too well. You don't have to listen on top of it. So thanks for watching, see you in the next videos. Take care. Don't forget to like, because if you don't, then I'll haunt you in your dreams. Now, never mind. Okay, moving on to pile number three. I feel like this is a very interesting one in the tone of secrecy, because you've gotten here like secretive cards, it being the High Priestess and this Ace of Pentacles. Also, we are going to talk about themes of love in here, and as well conspiracies which are both secret, good and bad, because the theme in here it's like coming off as mixed. Now, with the Ace of Pentacles in here, we see this closed book thing, and King of Swords. right next to it. It's a feeling of you have people in your proximity. These people are conspiring, but the secrecy of their conspiracies, they are so, this secrecy is so deep, it's so unspoken of, that it's literally people don't risk discussing their plans with you to others, sometimes even to themselves. Also, it could be that you are a very special, like a very special individual being perceived as special, but it's a secret. Again, it's a secret how important you are. And this is good and bad. So it's like, um, it's a secret how much you are loved and how much you are hated at the same time. We have in here also a theme of dirty secrets. That means we have some very, you wouldn't expect uh, that kind of thoughts from people, or you could have some very controversial thoughts or images, or in general storylines in their like minds, people surrounding you. Like this is a reading where the story will play itself out as you don't know what narratives are playing in people's minds when they think about you. This pile also feels like a one chance in a million, one of a kind. Also, a pile which is conspired about them being unreplaceable, irreplaceable, actually. But again, it's annoying and actually it's haunting the idea that you don't have to know this. Under no circumstances, pile number 3 has to know how important or how crucial they are, or how they are actually seen or perceived. Um, because the King of Swords for me is a card of communication, or swift or very clear communication, or openness to information. And again, we have the Ace of Swords. It's as if, you know, if you were to know how important you are, then perhaps like people are afraid that you're going to get into your ego, or you're going to be perceiving yourself in a very favorable place, and people don't want this. So it's like they want to tone you down in the ways in which they have these secrets, or in the ways in which they treat you specifically, so that you don't get your, like, from their perspective, your nose too high, something like this. But the conspiracy is like you get a lot of praise, you get a lot of like secret praise and secret like admiration. It's not admiration, it's like you give a lot of contribution, and it's a secret. Again, a lot of hidden stuff, secret stuff around productivity, around who you are, or around what you provide, because of Pentacles is a providing or charitable card, and it's seemingly something that's coming through as effortless, or just so natural that you don't even value it. Like, don't even value it, not that you don't actually value it, but you don't see it as something of a benefit, or you don't see it as important as people perceive it to be around you. But it's so important, it's almost sacred. This could be literally like a job position, this could be something of informational value that you provide. This could be also experience, knowledge, wisdom. This could be your professional opinion, but you are like with the Four of Pentacles, you are very, very, very valued and precious and irreplaceable for some group of people in general. And love-wise, of course, this is also, you have one specific person tied, like their soul is tied to yours. And I don't think you're very, very aware of that, seemingly, because, oh my God, seemingly is like the word of the day, I guess, for me. But you're too busy with the Eight of Pentacles in here. Like, you're too busy on either healing on yourself, or on working, it could also be, or you are like stuck in this whole mentality thing of, I don't have time for love, or I don't have time for that in general. Um, I want to say there are some huge plans being envisioned in here with you. That's in the good conspiracies kind of thing. And also it's like very selective and multifaceted type of conspiracy thing message. This is both in finances and in love, and I would expect you to be like, what? I'm not sure this is about me, for some reason, or it could be that you're too busy right now, but I want to say there are a lot of like, you are in a database, like recorded, like that kind of thing. Or you have people around you closely monitoring your behavior, your actions, your productivity, what you give and what you take, what you provide in general, and they look at you and realize that you are someone of very exquisite value. But it's again, pile number three, under no circumstances should know about this. This is like a book in here which represents like a secret diary or something in a company where like this very like it's usually like a red book that has in it all the information around or about all the employees and their job positions, their whole life story, whatever. It's like a secret record about you. And I want to say you've got some very good things. If this is not going to play itself out in work situations or in general, it could be that people in general in life perceive you to be in this like book of honor. And also it's a message of you are so important you don't realize it. Um, in regards to the people around you, or it's a message of you play a crucial role. With you not being present, a lot of things would go south, and or you are someone very important for a group of people, or in general, a lot of people, or your presence leaves a mark or an imprint. And as if we have in here organization, work situation, whatever circumstance in general that you assumed responsibility for by you participating in it, and it goes really well. It's either like rebettered or really improved because of your presence. And you don't know this, like you don't know how positive of an influence you are. Okay, it's kind of strange, but with your absence, things would look really, I want to say depressive. I want to say also Knight of Chalices, Knight of Cups. You're like busy, but someone out there, it's someone who's like in their feelings for you big time, and in their fantasies especially, because in here with the Knight of Chalices, it's a very dreamy type of person. But also what's interesting is the fact that this one is quite passive. Either you have inklings or hints about their feelings, but this person is holding it all in. Okay, it's not very apparent, to be honest with you. And also like why this is so frustrating, I don't know, but you are in a shroud of not knowing. You are in a shroud or a veil of you're not supposed to know it. You're not supposed to know the full truth of what's going on. And here we are with this reading, like exposing it all, something like this. But definitely it's like a both scenario, with the universe keeping secrets from you specifically for the sake of your evolution or life lessons and healing. And it's like all secretly wrapped like a gift, where it's like that feeling where you don't give a child a gift one day before, a day before their birthday. You just wait for the day to pass, and then when is their birthday, like you give them the presents and you kindly explain to them that it's going to be a surprise. This message is pertaining to your whole life, dear pile number three. It's like there is hesitation in you knowing your full worth or value, because you have to like somehow learn to step into the journey of the whole thing and gradually discover it, like gradually and patiently waiting for your birthday, in this case, and your birthday would be the day of truth, the day of everything being revealed to you, and you'd be shocked. Specifically shocked because you don't know how many hearts you've touched, you don't know how many voided void spaces, depressive places have been lighted up and are being kept in the light because of you. And this is both short and long term. You could have said a word, you could have said something that was very on point and on time, and this person, they felt like someone believed in them for the first time in their life. You could have given a crucial information to someone which basically saved their whole like work situation, or you could have given someone some relationship advice that basically changed the game in their favor, or they prevented themselves from doing something really foolish. And it was something also that came through effortless and unconditional, meaning that you didn't set a price. You were just kind because you could, and you just gave your heart to someone or to a lot of people in this case without strings attached. And it's as if, you lighted up a torch, you gave it to that person was no longer in the dark, and you just kept on going. You kept on like spreading the light. That's the kind of message I'm feeling. There is also a feeling to this pile, like the conspiracy. It's like you are a walking torch of light where people could be trapped in nightmares and you're like waking them up. You could be giving people also uncomfortable reality checks. It could also come through as, to these people, quite insensitive, but trust me, the metaphor when I say it. When you see someone going through a nightmare, you want to snap them out of it really quickly, even though this might appear as you shaking them, like you literally jolting them up awake. That's the kind of feeling with this pile. It's like the bitter truth can awaken you real fast, and it's for your own benefit because you want to get out of the nightmare as quick as possible. And you've got a few people really understanding the value of it, but in general, people have this bittersweet aftertaste when they think about you. Time passes and they real they realize that actually you were right in many ways, despite it really hurting and them not wanting to admit that you were right, because it would make them question their own judgment. Yeah. I seen here both this singular person and people in general hesitating and doubting, but at the same time, really having this honesty urge to basically splurge it all out and say how you were actually right. It's like, those moments where, in a family there is like a small child, for example, and their mom is saying like, your friend is a fake friend, like deal with it, okay? And we all know it's like kind of harsh, and the child can take it personally, and it quite happens, like usually it happens quite frequently, unfortunately. But then, like, a week passes, a month passes, and that child's like, it hurts. I chose this person, but my parents apparently were right. So it's the same thing. It's like you see things in a more advanced or detached perspective where you can split and actually like um, just identify, I guess, with your personal ego, or this person's personal ego. And you can give some piece of information that is basically a game changer, but people are not ready for it. It's like literally range between someone being, like, for example, someone being blind and you giving them some sort of superpower glasses that allows them to see everything, and it's too much. Like, this person gets overwhelmed and they immediately take off the glasses because of the rush of the images, the colors, the shapes, the forms, whatever. It's like too much. This person is immediately taking off the glasses, and that is the advice you gave them being immediately rejected. But in time passes, they realize that you were right, and they want a message, they want to communicate. I want to say with this singular person having feelings for you, I don't think they got the the spheres, okay, of steel to actually admit. Can't believe I said that. Yeah, I said it. Um, they don't have them. They are not going to be brave enough to basically admit it, but realizations come through, and this person, they are afraid to admit to you and to themselves how much they care for you, and you awaken in them like that kind of inner child thing. Yeah, not you being their parent, but let's not go there, okay? Because I don't really like situations like this. But the good thing is you awaken uh, sweetness, honesty, and purity, innocence in this person, and they feel like they are born anew. Also, it's funny because with this Four of Pentacles representation, I feel like you've got some people, like from the romantic spectrum, you've got some really protective people who wanna shelter and hold you close, but you're like, can I have a life? Like, I would expect you to be someone who has a quality of independence to themselves where they feel like, I can stand for myself, I can live by myself, I can also, um, I would appreciate not being babied or like protected because I'm not weak or I'm not powerless, that kind of thing. But I want to say people are concerned for your safety, and it's like a feeling of them wanting to shelter and also keep you with the rest of their valuable things. I wouldn't be surprised if this pile is being fought for, like people fighting over you, who's going to basically lock you in their treasure box or vault. And in this whole thing equation, it's like you coming through and saying, sweeties, but I'm not a jewelry piece to be locked in a vault, okay? I'm not, I am a jewel, but I'm not gonna be locked in a vault, okay? I'm not gonna be locked and kept, you know? That's the kind of feeling. Like, it's almost amusing because, like, pile number three, admit it already. You know how valuable you are, and you know everything I was talking about, you are well more than aware of. But you can play clueless, and this whole information reading is like playing on some sort of image of yours that you pretend to be clueless and all. But I feel like you know a great deal, but you're just busy, or pretending to be busy at least. But yeah, why am I even reading? Like, High Priestess in here is like, maybe you are very well aware of everything that's happening, but you could be a bit overwhelmed, and it's like, did I check in with myself? Like, did I actually listen to myself today? It's like my filter is overwhelmed or something like this. I also get a feeling with conspiracies, people wanting to provoke you. There is like a secret plan to actually get to provoke you into emotional expression or expression in general. Because with the Knight of Wands, it's like, what is going to happen if we are to simulate or place them in a situation like A or B, and how they are going to actually react? Because it's like people want to see who you are by revealing your reactions to different life circumstances or situations in general. Okay. I don't know why, but there was also a message coming through from like a different person, like, why are they not with me? So it's also coming through from strangers, like, why is this person so handsome and why are they alone? And why are they wasting their life being alone where I can be with them? So that's the conspiracy thing. Also, there is like especially with the Knight of Cups, there is like an energy of someone feeling like they are the white, like not the white, the charming prince, but on a white horse, that kind of stereotype thing. And there are fantasies in here with this person basically imagining how they're going to swoop in, save you, and basically tie themselves to you for the rest of their life. And you're like, no, did I ask for this? No, then why? It's like, mm, chained to a soul, not my kind of business or even style, so not gonna happen. And this person can very well know that, but let's try at least imagining it so it hurts less, you know. I also see in here from a card someone like literally hanging out very close, like literally in your face and wanting to ask you like what's going on. Like wanting to be like such an inquisitive nature, I can't. Just like being in your face, it's enough for them to feel like their life purpose is being fulfilled, you know? And this person would be like staring at you and actually trying to basically find situations where they can find an excuse to communicate or to just be in your face and look at you. That's the kind of thing I feel. I don't know if this is going to resonate with everyone, but if not, this could be a stalker. So yeah, regular stuff actually. Also with this High Priestess card, it's like I would expect you to be focused on yourself. Like, this figure in here with this book. It's like, can I be left alone? It's like, I'm reading a book, can you be silent? Like for 5 minutes, 5 days, please. And you are very seductive in that way because you are not begging for attention. And you see how this person, like this high priestess, is specifically amused. It's like, I'm reading my book and I need some entertainment, like some 5 minute breaks, and then maybe I'll look at you, yeah, for 5 minutes, not more, and like I'm actually setting a timer just in case, so you know. And then I'm back to my studies, so please don't disturb me. So that's the kind of energy I feel from this, and um, the desperation that ensues as a result of your attitude. Shameless, but at the same time very realistic and breaking a lot of hearts. But yeah, like yeah, you're meant to just do your studies, be happy, be independent, and not cling. But I feel like this is a very extreme example of like independence and personal power, where like you literally pull people in, but then situation like you are not interested in breaking their hearts, but then again you need breaks of entertainment and then you go and it kind of results in that. So I don't know who's to blame. Maybe maybe I'm not gonna blame anyone. I feel like there is inferiority. It's also like a secret or conspiracy that people feel inferior to you, or there is an air of aristocracy or higher rank in you that makes people feel uneasy or they feel a little off your league. It's like the embodiment of authority and confidence to the degree where I don't care to actually make someone feel lower, but also I'm not gonna make myself smaller for the sake of someone else's low self-esteem. Yeah, I think that's what I feel. Also, people are conspiring about you, that you got a secret club of VIP people who have this like golden ticket pass. You don't let everyone in, and you definitely don't let everyone close. Even with this VIP type of pass, it's like this is a small circle of people, but at the same time, it's like even these people don't get a very close access to you. And to be honest, it's like people are speculating around the topic of what kind of secret club are they hanging in out there? Like, why do they have this secret, like mysterious energy to them? Like, and it's also very interesting because when you are giving your love, you're very like kind, also very free. Like almost like your love feels freeing. It doesn't feel like tying someone down, or it's not like that kind of love where um you give and you expect something in return. You just give it freely, and it's very like freedom, imbued with freedom in general. And people can't help but attach themselves to it, and they feel like they are a little bit desperate. Yeah. Why not just call it by its name? They are desperate. They're desperate for your attention, but they know and they can feel it that you're not going to give your attention to everyone. Okay? And I want to say also the conspiracy is you are being seen as someone who's dealing with something because of this Eight of Pentacles. And it's something like honorable, or it's like people are thinking that you are like gathering resources or money or help for some sort of very noble cause, or for yourself in general, because helping yourself is also a very noble cause. Because if you are happy, then the people around you and those who you love and who are connected with you are also going to be happy. But there is a lot of desire, and there is a lot of hidden desire to be there for you and to be accessible, and to say, like, they would want to say, we are ready to be by your side, but we know that you're not gonna let us in, you know? Five of Pentacles is like a very stubborn card. I remember, not of course from this representation, but you are used to doing things by yourself. And this is something that's definitely coming through, that makes people pull away because they feel like they're going to be rejected before they even try. It's like, I want to reach mountaintops by myself. And this is both good and to some extent bad, because I feel like you would isolate when you feel like there are situations that are basically requiring you to just ask for assistance, or where being part of a solution is actually not an insult to your independence, but actually an addition to a journey that is meant to be beautifully felt and passed through together. It's like, let me carry, let us carry our burdens together, and let us celebrate our joys also together. And it's the richness of the whole adventure when you look back and think about it. It's the richness of the whole experience, knowing that you could have crossed it by yourself, but you had someone there, and you have memories also. It's like the same thing where you are well more than capable of doing groceries alone, but you would not actually be upset, or there wouldn't be a problem if you had someone close, or like a best friend who would assist you, because you would joke around as you went there. You'd have good company. That's the feeling I got with this pile, and it's a message that is overarching itself through the whole reading. It's like you're not letting in people in good and bad times at the same time. And I feel like this is a hint for you to do it, because it's very highly encouraged. And it's also it's funny how light and how exciting you'd feel if you were to just open up and to share your adventure, to share your purpose and your road to advancement and evolution with someone else, and not perceive it as a lack of independence, because it's definitely possible to have them both be independent and also be with someone, despite it being like, or no matter if it is a romantic relationship or not, it's like interdependence. Me following my North Star and also that person also following their North Star, and it so happens that our roads are very similar or could be actually identical in your case. So yeah, thanks for watching pile number 3. I hope you enjoyed the reading. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to comment below that you're pile number 3 if you want. If you don't, that's completely fine. I'm not gonna hound you in your dreams like I said in pile number 2. Though I might change my mind after uploading this video, so it's on your conscience, okay? I don't take responsibility for this, just in case. Just kidding, just kidding. Take care. Bye.